Hello, hello. My name is Craig, and I'll be facilitating today's Qigong practice for Toivo. Welcome. I'll be starting this practice in a couple of minutes. For those who are new, who are wondering what this practice is about, this is Qigong, an ancient Chinese wellness, energy, movement, mindfulness practice. Has been practiced for thousands of years. So this practice that we'll be doing has been passed down from many a person and practiced all over the world. And it's a practice to help us center, to connect with ourselves, to slow down, to settle, to ground, to practice to listen, practice to cultivate connecting with the present moment. That's what this practice is about. An opportunity to not worry about doing, to shift from the head to being in the moment, to being embodied. And I'll do a breakdown of what will be taking place in this practice in just a moment. I'll just start class in, let's say, 45 seconds, but as always, welcome whenever you're catching this practice. You could be catching this live. Welcome all those who are catching this practice live. You could be catching a replay. And welcome to all those who are catching this when it's not live. Always welcome. So let's begin the practice. Give a breakdown of what this class will entail. As a reintroduction, my name is Craig. I'll be facilitating this class. Been teaching Qigong for over 3 years. And this Qigong class is an ancient Chinese practice of energy, wellness, self-care. It's been called a moving meditation. And in this practice, I'll be doing gentle movements that will involve some stretching, but mostly coordinating movements of the body with the breath to help us settle, slow down, connect with ourselves. So this practice, it's a 60-minute practice, but you are welcome to take breaks to honor yourself, to honor how you feel. Don't have to do the entire practice. I'll be doing it standard, but you're welcome to do it seated or even laying down. You can modify the movements. As always, this is your practice. Do what feels good for you. This is not a practice about strain or pain. The goal of Qigong is it's a healing practice. It's an internal art. It's an opportunity to listen and to better connect with yourself, to pay attention to the present moment, to subtlety. So let's make this practice happen. Here's what will happen for the class. So the first, let's say 7 minutes, kind of be like grounding routine. This is where I go into the practice of aligning the 3 treasures. The 3 treasures are body, breath, and mind. After that, we go into the 5 standard movements of Valley Qigong. Anytime you see me do a practice, always start off pretty much the first half class with these practices. So it's 4 flows and shaking. And after that, we make it to the midway of class. It's about a half hour in. Then we move into the second half of practice, do some more stretching and exercises to warm up the spine. Then we move into, for this class particularly, gentle flows that connect with nature, connect with water. And these flows will be really good for practicing in the evening. It'll be settling, slow, ways to calm and shift into slowness. So that will be the practice for this class. As always, again, this is your practice. Listen to yourself, honor yourself, honor where you are, trust, and connect with yourself. So we're going to begin. We're going to start off with, again, aligning the three treasures. Starting off with aligning the body. So let's take a moment to just check in with our environment. Do you have enough space to move? Spread your arms out, up, in front, behind, just around. We'll be doing some of those movements. Just making sure you have space for yourself. And let's bring the feet together. Noticing how that feels. Notice how your feet connect to the ground. Noticing how your feet are sinking, connected to the earth, to the floor. And noticing how that feels. I'm going to shift the weight into the right foot, step out with the left. So now the feet are about shoulder width apart. Underneath the hips, so that feels good. As always, do what feels good. And we're going to continue to align the body. So checking back in with the feet. The feet are planted on the ground. Weight can be equally distributed on the feet. Noticing how it feels. And let's check in with the knees. Knees are soft, slight bend in the knees. Let's check in with the pelvis. Pelvic bowl is level, so that means the pubic bone is tilted up, which allows for the tailbone to be tucked underneath the spine. Let's check in with the arms. Arms is hanging down, loose, soft. Slight bend in the elbows. So the knees and the elbows have a slight bend. You don't want to have the joints locked in Qigong. Qigong is about softness, about ease, allowing energy to move freely throughout the body and to release tension. Let's take an opportunity to release some tension in the shoulders and the neck. You're welcome to follow along and do the exercises I'm doing or do whatever feels good for you. I'm going to do some shoulder shrugs for the shoulders and some neck rotations for the neck. So we're going to start with shoulder shrugs. We're going to do 3. So you can inhale, shrug your shoulders up. Exhale, release, allow your shoulders to lightly drop. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale. Exhale. I'll do 1 more time on my end. All right, I'm going to move into neck rotations. Allow the chin to drop to the chest. What I'm going to do is just to make circles with the nose, or just allow chin to just flow up and around. Let's do 2 rotations in one direction. Again, being kind and gentle with the neck. When you do 2 rotations in one direction, you can reverse the movement. 2 rotations in the other. When you're all set, bring the head over his spine. And you can tuck the chin in and imagine that there's a string that connects from the sky to the top of your head, pulls you upright. This lengthens the spine, but allows you to be loose and hanging from that imaginary string. Let's check in with the head. Let's check in with the brow and the jaw. You notice any tension there? Any tightness? See how it feels to release, soften tension in those areas. You're going to unhinge the jaw, noticing how that feels. Check in with the eyes. Again, noticing what you're paying attention to. Check in with the mouth. Mouth can be soft, and tongue can be connected to the roof of the mouth. Tip of the tongue can be touching the back of the 2 front teeth. All right. Let's move into aligning the breath. For this practice, we do what is called, or we suggest doing, what is called Dantian breathing, also known as belly breathing, or lower abdominal breathing, or diaphragmatic breathing. It has many names, but to describe it and to demonstrate it, bring left hand to the abdomen. As I take an inhale, the lungs fill and the abdomen expands. And on the exhale, the lungs empty and the abdomen softens. Demonstrate one more time. Inhale. Lungs fill. Navel moves away from the spine. Lungs empty on the exhale. Abdomen softens and contracts. Navel moves close to the spine. This type of breathing really stimulates the parasympathetic nervous system, which helps us heal and relax. But you're welcome to do any type of breathing that feels good for you. Just engaging in natural, spontaneous breathing will be supportive. Lastly, let's make an opportunity to connect with the mind and align the mind. So let's make a soft fist with one hand, any hand will do, and bring the other hand over that fist. And let's set an intention for the practice. And let's set 2 intentions. Whatever you'd like to get out of this practice, you can set that one first. And secondly, let's set an intention to be here, to be present with this practice, this flow, to be here for ourselves. This is where we have the most power, in the present moment. So let's just allow our hands to just flow down, and we're going to begin the flows. So we're going to inhale, the hands up. Exhale, the hands down and out. And noticing how that feels, going at your own pace. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, hands down and out. Again, making any modifications to the movement. This is your practice. Let's do 3 more repetitions. Again, go at your own pace and speed. I'm going to do 1 more repetition of this movement. Then I'm going to reverse direction of the movement. So now that I'm exhaling, hands down by the sides, I'm going to inhale the hands up by the side. So reversing the movement, inhale. Exhaling, hands down from the body. Noticing how this change feels for you. Paying attention to what you experience and what you notice. If it feels good, you can check in to see how it would feel like to extend the exhale. So next time you are exhaling the hands down, you can extend the exhale. That may allow you to greater stimulate your parasympathetic nervous system, to bring in more healing, more relaxation. Do 2 more repetitions. This will be the final repetition of this movement for myself. So just going to allow the hands to flow down and just hang down for a brief moment before I transition to the next gesture. Just noticing how you feel after that movement. Noticing if you're becoming more connected, grounded, settle, paying attention to your thoughts, where your awareness is right now. Now let's transition to the next gesture. Let's bring the hands to the lower abdomen, the lower dantian area. Palms will be facing up towards the sky. Fingers are pointing towards each other. A little space in between. Let's begin the next movement. Let's inhale, draw the hands up to heart height. When the hands make it to the heart, flip the hands over, palms face down. Exhale. Allow the hands to flow down. We're going to restart the movement. Flip the hands, palms face up. Inhale, draw the hands up to the heart. And exhale. Palms face down. As you're inhaling, you may imagine or connect with the visualization that you are drawing energy up through the feet into the body. Then on the exhale, you might imagine or connect with the visualization that you are letting and releasing that energy out through the feet. Or whatever you connect with in this moment that you find supportive. That's what works. Stick with that. Noticing what feels good. What allows you to be here, be present, to get the most out of this movement. Let's do 3 more repetitions. Noticing what you're connecting with, noticing what you're feeling. Let's do 1 more repetition. And we're going to transition to the next gesture. So we're actually going to inhale the hands back up to the heart. But this time, we're just going to draw the hands so the fingers are pointing up, palms are still facing each other. You're going to imagine or connect with the idea that you're holding a ball between your hands. Noticing what you sense, experience, when you connect with that. We're going to transition to the next movement. We're going to extend our hands out in front of the body, slight bend the elbows. And we're going to begin the next movement, which is a heart opening movement. So we're going to inhale, allow the hands to spread apart, open up the chest, gaze upward. And exhale, look forward. Bring the hands close together, but not touching. Restarting the movement, inhale, open up. Feel the stretch in the chest. And exhale, look forward. Bring the hands back in, soften. So as you're doing this movement, you can allow the hands to trail the arms. Again, just noticing. And again, make any modifications that allow you to benefit and feel good doing this movement. Let's do 3 more repetitions at your own pace. Let's do 1 more repetition, noticing what you sense, noticing what you feel, noticing where your attention is. And we're going to bring our hands back in front of the chest, slight bend the elbows, palms facing each other, noticing what you sense, what you feel, just being with that for a moment. Connecting connecting with that experience, let's just take an opportunity to engage in some intuitive expression, connecting with how we'd like to move. Let's imagine we're connecting with that ball. Again, it could be any type of ball. How would you like to move that ball? How would you like to express yourself with that ball? Just take a minute to just move and see how that would feel and look. How you like to explore, play, connecting with the ball. Again, how would you like to move? What would feel good for you? What would you like to experience? Let's bring that moment of intuitive movement from play, from improv, to a close. Let's return to that starting position. So we're going to extend the hands back out in front of the chest, palms facing each other, slight bend the elbows. We're now going to turn and have the palms of the hands facing towards the body, towards the chest, fingers pointing towards each other. We're going to inhale, draw in the hands towards the body. We're going to exhale, allow the hands to trace over and down the torso. We're going to allow the fingers to point to the ground. We're going to swivel the hands around. Palms are now facing up. We're going to inhale, draw the hands up to shoulder height. Flip the hands over, palms face down. Exhale, allow the hands to flow down. You start the movement. Inhale, draw the hands back up. Palms facing towards the sky. Exhale, allow the hands to flow down. Noticing what you sense, what you feel, what you're connecting with in this moment. Modify the movement so it suits you. And I'm going to shift into doing some variations for this particular movement. And there are many variations, many options for this movement. You're welcome to try and explore, or just stick with the ones that feel good for you. So we're going to begin, starting off with sinking and rising. So when you flip the palms over and you're exhaling, you can allow a sink, slight bend in the knees and hips, remaining upright, sinking down. Then as you draw the hands up, you can rise up. Again, the joints remain soft. Exhale, sink. Inhale, rise. Noticing how that feels for you. Let's do 2 more repetitions. Then we'll make a transition to shifting the weight on the bottom of the feet forward and back. So let's move into the next variation. So as we inhale the hands up, we're going to shift the weight to the front of each foot. And on the exhale, shifting the weight to the back of each foot. And the feet remain planted. So inhale, shift forward. Exhale, shift back. As if you're giving the bottom of your feet a foot massage. Noticing how that feels. Paying attention to how it feels to shift the weight on the bottom of the feet. This allows you to connect with now, the present moment. I'm going to incorporate incorporate a little balance practice in this, you're welcome to follow along and try. So as you're inhaling the hands up, if it feels good, you can lift the heels up or rise up onto the toes. Exhale. Allow the hands to flow down, shifting the weight into the heels, lifting up the toes. So inhale, draw the hands up, lift the heels up, raise in the front of the feet. Exhale, hands flow down, shifting weight into the heels, lifting up the toes. No problem if you stumble. This is just a practice. Qigong can be very helpful with balance, or strengthening balance particularly. Let's do 2 more repetitions of this. And we're going to transition to bring the feet together and step them apart. So as you inhale, both hands up, we're going to bring the left foot to the right foot. As the hands flip over and flow down, step out, the left foot away for right foot. And now we're going to do the reverse. So inhale, right foot to left foot. Exhale, right foot steps away from the left foot, out and apart. So we'll continue to alternate. If you would like, you can incorporate variations into this variation. So maybe as you step the feet apart, you can sink, slight bend in the knees, hips, inhale, rise back up. Another option is to make this a balance practice. So maybe as you're bringing the feet in toward each other, one foot has most of the weight and the other one is pretty empty or lighter. Do you really want to test your balance? As you're bringing the legs together, you can lift the leg up. There's always no issues if you stumble. It's a practice. It's your practice. Listening to yourself. Paying attention. Connecting with what feels good. Let's do 2 more passes. 1 more pass for each side, each leg. And then let's just do a few repetitions where the feet are planted on the ground and we just allow the hands to flow back up to shoulder height. Just the way we start off this flowing motion movement. Inhale, drawing the hands up to shoulder height. Exhale, flipping the palms over, allowing them to slow down. Let's do 3 more repetitions. Last repetition. And when you're done, you just allow your hands and arms to hang down, release, be loose. But now we're going to shift into shaking, also known as shake the tree, cooking chi. So we're just going to move into some shaking, light vibration. Great way to release stress and tension in the body. as Qigong practitioners notice that whenever animals needed to release stress, when they found themselves trying to just wanting to calm, they would shake, they would tremble. So this is just taken from observations of nature. And this is a great way to move, release energy. And another practice we like to do along with shaking is called blithering breaths. Blithering breaths is just a way of releasing stress and tension through the breath or vocally. So you can sigh, yawn, hum, whatever feels good for you. We'll do 3 blithering breaths. On my end, they'll come out as sighs. To do blithering breaths, we take a deep breath. When I say inhale, take a deep breath. And on the exhale, just release whatever feels good. So let's do 3 of them. Inhale. Let's do 2 more. Inhale. Let's do 1 more. Inhale. All right, let's move into the closing sequence of our shaking practice. So let's bring the hands out, reaching out. Let's bring the hands overhead, reaching up towards the sky. Let's bring the hands out in front of us. Let's bring the hands behind us. Let's bring the hands out to the side, fingers pointing down, connecting to the ground. And if it's available to you, always optional, you can gaze in a slight bend in the knees and the hips, get close to the ground. Connect with the ground and the earth. Let's return upright. Take the next 30 seconds to shake however you like to shake. Maybe you want to gaze in the high vibration shake. Or just begin to just move into a lighter, softer, less intense shake as we close this shaking practice. So begin to slow down. Easing on the shaking. Lowering the intensity, and you can bring the shaking to a stop. And if it feels good, see how it feels to turn inwards to connect with sensations and your inner experience. If that is too much, check in with your external environment. Check in with your senses. Check in with what you notice with your eyes, taste, touch, smell. Whatever allows you to be present, whatever allows you to pause. You can also engage in shifting forward and backwards, shifting from side to side. But we're just taking a moment to pause, just to notice, just to be. Feels good, you can allow your hands to connect to your body, any place that needs healing, connection, or just feel good to just place your hands on. Just allow for that to happen right now. We're just engaged in a pause of being, of listening. Shaking, or the time after shaking, just giving you a great time for that. And we'll just continue to pause for another 20 seconds. Just allowing, being, listening. All right, let's move into the second half of class. So the next, I want to say 5 minutes will be practices to warm up the spine, to stretch, to loosen tension in the wrists and the ankles. Then we'll move into some slow, gentle flows that connect with ourselves, connect with water, connect with the wood element, which is the element of spring. Yeah, we'll just take time to connect with those movements, those gestures, and hopefully that will allow you to feel supported, settled, grounded, connected with yourself and with nature. So let's make that happen. Let's transition to the second half of class. Let's start off with knocking on the door of life, also known as knocking on the temple gong or spinal twisting. It's a favorite of mine. Generally like starting the second half of class with this. So let's begin turning at the waist, at the core. Arms are loose and relaxed. You can keep the head centered if that feels good, or just allow it to turn. And then if it feels comfortable and available to you, you can just allow the hands to tap the body. Front hand taps the lower abdomen. Back hand taps the lower back. Doing it in a loose, soft way. It's a good way to warm up the spine, connect with the kidney energy. And we'll just allow the hands to flow off. You can just continue turning gently. But we're going to bring this gesture to a close, so you just begin to slow down, as if you're a fan that's just being turned off. And you can turn to facing forward. Allow the hands to just hang. We're going to move and transition to the next gesture, which is really a stretch. It's side bends. There's many ways of doing this particular stretch. It's just incorporating a stretch to feel a stretch in the side of our body. But I'll just do it in a simple way. So we can start off with the left hand. Allow it to just float up. If you like, you can reach up, stretch up towards the sky. And then just soften and release a little bit. And now we're going to stretch over with the left hand over to the right side, so you can feel the stretch on the left side of the body. And again, you want to stretch in a way that doesn't cause pain or a lot of strain. Something that feels comfortable with you. Reach back up towards the sky. Allow that left hand to flow down. We're now going to do the other side. Allow the right hand to flow up. Reach up, stretch up towards the sky. You can soften and release that. And now we're going to move that stretch into the right side. So bend over to the left side. Reach back up towards the sky. And allow the right hand to flow down. Let's do one more stretch on each side. Again, go at your own pace. All right, we're going to transition to spinal cord breathing. Spinal cord breathing is a great way to open up the front and the back of the spine. So the movement is a movement of arching the upper back and opening the chest, and then rounding the upper back so you're opening the spine forward and back. But there's going to be an arm movement with it too. We're going to bring the hands up and out. Arms are like cactus arms, as they can say. Palms are open. We're going to draw down the elbows, arch the upper back. You can slightly gaze upward if that feels good. Then we're going to bring the forearms close together. Draw the elbows in, around the upper back. Chin to chest, tuck the tailbone in. If you want to add a breath, you can inhale, open up. Arch the upper back. Feel the stress in the chest. Elbows draw down. Exhale. Bring the forearms close together. Chin to chest, round the upper back. Tailbone tucked underneath the spine. Inhale, open. Exhale, soften, release. If you'd like to add a sound, you can add the wood element sound and the organ connected with it, which is the liver. So on the exhale, you can make a sh. So inhale, open up. Exhale, if you like, make that liver sound. Let's do that one more time. Inhale. Make that liver sound. That feels good. So inhale, open up one more time. Spread the hands out, palms facing away from the body. Allow the hands to flow down. Exhale. Noticing how that feels. All right, we're done warming up in the spine. Let's check in with tension in our wrists, ankles, and hips. So let's just do a couple hip rotations. So you can bring your hands to the waist, or just to thumbs at your lower back, whatever feels good. We'll do a couple hip rotations, hip circles, 3 in one direction. We do tend to carry a lot of tension in the hips. And when you're all set, doing hip rotations in one direction, reversing the movement, circling the hips, the other direction. And when you're all set with both directions, just returning to center. So feet underneath the hips or shoulder width apart, whatever feels good. Hands release from the waist, hanging down. Let's take an opportunity to release tension and warm up the wrists and ankles. And you're welcome to do these separately, but I'll do them at the same time. So let's bring up the right hand. And if you're able, you can step on the ball of your feet and you can circle in that direction. Or if it's available to you, you can lift up the leg and circle that direction. Whatever feels easier. And then you can reverse it. Let's say 5 circles in one direction, 5 in the other. Then we're going to do the opposite. We're going to bring up the right hand, bring up the left foot. Again, if you're welcome to keep the feet on the ground. But if it's available to you, you can bring it up for a balance practice. And just circle in one direction. 5 times. And then reverse. All right. So those are our exercises and gestures to release tension in the body, to warm up the spine. Let's move into our flows. So we're going to start off with a flow from the 18 forms, a form I like. Just going to start off with opening chest. And to do this gesture, we're going to start off with the hands hanging down, but then we're just going to bring them in front body. We're going to inhale, draw the hands up to shoulder height. We're going to continue to inhale, open them out to the sides. And now we're going to exhale, bring the hands out in front of the body. And allow them to lower down. And we're going to restart the movement. Now I'll give another angle. Inhale up. Inhale. Exhale. Continue that exhale. So inhale, draw the hands up, open up the chest. Exhale, soften and release and allow the hands to flow down, palms facing down. Let's do this 5 more times at your own pace and speed. Gonna do 3 more repetitions on my end. Noticing where your awareness, noticing what you're connected with in the moment. Last repetition on my end. All right. We're going to transition to big circle. So big circle is when we take one hand and circle it around, and there's movement. The movement comes from the core. So as the hand circles around, you're going to be shifting down and up, side to side. Again, whatever, in a way that feels comfortable for you. So let's actually start off with the right hand. We're going to take the right hand out and have the palm facing down. We're going to allow it to flow down. Shifting over to the left side. Drawing it up. Allowing the hand to flow all the way down. Palm faces the direction of travel. If you're looking for a breathing pattern, you can exhale, allowing your hand to flow down and around, and inhale, up and across. Or really engaging in the breathing pattern that feels good for you. Imagine you're painting the sky with your hand. Let's do one more repetition, one more circle with the right hand. When you find your right hand back over to the right side, allow it to flow down. Just hanging down, loose, soft. And now I'm going to bring up the left hand over to the left side, palm facing down. We're going to allow it to drop down over to the right side. Lift up, traveling back to the left side. Going at your own pace and speed. Bring your attention to the present moment and the movement. Noticing what you feel and experience as you have your hand flowing through the air around. do 3 more repetitions. And 1 more repetition. Then your hand is reaching out over to the left side, just allowing it to flow down. Allowing that hand to hang for a brief moment, to be loose. We'll transition to the next gesture. Next gesture is actually a coiling exercise called Competing Dragons. And coiling, moving in spirals, that is very much connected with the spring, with the wood element. Spirals is the way a lot of things grow, like our hair, the way plants grow, among so many other things. Water spirals. But let's transition into the movement. So what we'll do, we're just going to allow both hands to flow up, palms are facing down, just briefly for a moment. What we're going to do is we're going to turn the left hand up, and we're going to twist the right hand so it also turns up. And we're just going to continue just noticing that twist. So now with the right hand turned up, we're going to turn the left hand and looking at the right hand. You're going to continue to alternate. Turning up the left hand, twisting the right hand. It's good for strengthening the shoulders. Again, being kind and gentle with the shoulders. You don't want to cause pain. You go at your own pace. Just do this for a few more repetitions. Let's do 1 more repetition as we look over to the right hand. 1 more over to the left hand. And actually 1 more to the right hand because I know we started with the left. Alright, allowing the hands to just flow down. Alright, got a few more gestures to go. We've got the last 10 minutes of class. Let's transition to a water move, a water gesture, also from the 18 forms. We're going to move into a bow stance, but you're welcome to do this practice with the feet parallel. I'll do a bow stance. Bow stance with the right foot in front, left foot back, at 45-degree angle. This allows us to shift forward and backwards. Just going to bring our hands up to about waist height, lower dantian height. And we're just going to be engaging in pushing away. So we're going to inhale. Exhale, push forward. Inhale, draw those hands in. Exhale, push. Inhale, draw into yourself. Exhale, push out. Imagine that you can shift and connect with the waves. So exhale, tide goes out, you shift forward. Inhale, tide comes in, you shift back. Let's do this 3 more times on this side and we'll switch the bow stance. So the left foot will be in front and the right foot will be in back. One more repetition. Exhale, press the hands up. Inhale, draw the hands back in. And when you're ready, you can step the right foot back in. Now we're going to step the left foot out. Left foot is facing forward. Right foot is at a 45-degree angle and back. Shifting forward in a way that allows you to remain upright, but as if you're on a conveyor belt. Starting off on the back foot, the right foot, bring the hands up to the dantian, lower abdomen. We're going to exhale, press forward. Inhale, draw the hands back in. Pushing waves, moving like the waves. Connecting with the water form. Exhale, press the hands out, shift forward. Inhale, draw in, shift back. Let's do 3 more repetitions. Let's do 1 more repetition. Step in the left foot. So both feet are parallel, allowing the hands to flow down. Got a couple more gestures for you. Let's transition to the fountain, another form that connects with water. Let's start off with the hands, the midline. Back of the hands are facing each other. We're going to inhale, draw the hands up. And once they make it to about, let's say, neck, chest height, hands flow out and round. So inhale, draw the hands up. The center. Exhale, circle hands out and around. So if you're a fountain, drawing up, water in the center, up, exhale, water circles around. Noticing how that feels. Do 2 more repetitions with both hands. Then we'll transition to doing 1 hand at a time. So let's make that transition now. Let's start with the right hand. Inhale the right hand up, left hand remains stable. Then switch over to left hand. Inhale, left hand up and around. And continue to alternate. So you're almost engaging in like a figure 8 movement. Inhaling 1 hand up and out, shifting over. Shifting back to the other side. Inhaling the hand up and around. Let's do it 2 more times for each hand. And 1 more pass for the right hand. 1 more pass for the left hand. All right, almost at the close of class. Do 1 more movement as a great practice with connecting the sky and the earth. Seem to come back to these practices a lot. Let's bring the hands, the prayer hands. You can have the knuckles of the thumb connected to the heart or the sternum. And if you like, you can take in a deep breath. And exhale, you can let out a sigh. Let's bring the hands out in front of the chest. So the knuckles of the thumbs release from the body. And what we're going to do is we're going to inhale, draw the hands up the midline, separate the hands, palms are facing each other, open up, and bring the hands back, connect them, draw them down the midline. Slight bend, draw the hands open, bring the hands back together, open them up apart, open to the sky, down the midline. Separating them, opening up to the earth. Let's do this 3 more times. Notice what you feel in your hands. One last time, one more opening to the sky. Allowing the hands to flow down, opening up to the earth. Palms can face the earth. And just allowing yourself to come back to the upright position, allowing the hands to hang. We're now going to transition to closing this practice. So we're now going to go to clearings, to gathering. So we're going to now inhale. Palms facing up. Draw the hands up towards the sky, and this time we're going to bring the left foot to the right foot. When the hands make it overhead, turn the palms towards yourself and exhale. Take in whatever you'd like, whatever you need from that practice, whatever will allow you to have support, connection. And with just moving the hands, keeping the feet connected, we're going to draw the hands up. Again, overhead. Exhale, turn those palms towards you, draw the hands down, taking in, showering yourself with goodness, energy, with whatever you need. And one more time at your own pace. Inhale, draw the hands up. Exhale, draw the hands down, taking in, showering, connecting, feeling, whatever you need in this moment. And to completely close practice, in this moment I will not be mirroring you. Let's bring up our right hand in a soft fist. And the right hand will represent yang energy, energy of the day, energy of the sun, energy of light. And let's bring up the left hand, palm is open, facing towards the sky. Left hand is going to represent yin, energy of the night, energy of the earth and moon, energy of relaxation, and so much more. Let's take this opportunity to bring left over right and bring both hands to the center. Take this time to bow to yourself for engaging in this practice, for listening, supporting, connecting with yourself. Take a bow to all the teachers, the people who've passed on this practice, these movements. Thank you so much. Particularly thanks to Darren Drum. And let's thank all those who are engaging in this practice. I want to take time to thank Valley Qigong, Torva. So many great people. As always, hope this practice has served you, has helped you, supported you. May you be well till next time. Take good care.